Hello internet, welcome back to the Waifus. I'm Sefhi, back with another summer guide. This time Helm Aquamarine, everyone's favorite admire captain. She looks amazing, she looks really good. Only when you click on her though. Sadly her normal idol, this one is great, right? But unless you click, this is when it gets good. Now let's talk a little bit about her build, how you should build her, where she shines the most, if it's worth ticketing or getting her or completely skipping, and everything in between. Before we start, leave a like, subscribe, have a good channel. We should be live right now. If you want to come say hello, have a great time. We should be playing the first descent down. This week is going to be a long stream week while I grind at this new Korean tutor shooter. So that's it, let's get started with this. Once again, these infographics are on Twitter and on Reddit if you prefer this format, but let's talk a bit about her build and let's move into the game and explain everything. So first of all, a skill priority. A skill 2, skill 1, and then the burst. The skill 2 at level 7 to 10, and both skill 1 and burst to level 4. Why is that? Let's go here and explain everything, right? So first of all, skill 1, Admire Companion, activates after landing 30 normal attacks, dealing some extra damage. She is a DPS. And then also when entering full burst, doing cooldown reduction for all allies on the team, right? People mostly use Helm for this cooldown reduction. Level 4, it's enough where this cooldown reduction is gonna be good enough, like let's say volume, like liter, like dollar, right? Level 4, it's good enough. You don't need to go further because the damage you're getting is not good, no bueno. She's not a DPS, even though it's an attacker, right? She is supposedly an attacker character, but her damage is bad and the cooldown is not worth upgrading any further because how much it costs versus what you're getting in return. Again, in my opinion, if you want to go further to like a level 7 on a skill 1, you theoretically could, but I don't think it's worth the books. Let's talk about skill 2. Speaking of books, bro, I'm poor. I think I'm gonna be kind of fucked for summer. Skill 2. This is why she is used, okay? Because again, not the damage, we don't care about her damage. Affects the same targets when they belong to an electric code. This is an active that happens every 4 seconds. Damage taken increase by X amount, stack up to 5 times and lasts for 5 seconds. I don't remember what's the percentage at level 7 or 10, but it's good. This is a good damage taken debuff for the enemy. You want to use her for elemental content. When you have an item team, she's going to be shining in there. And we'll see team compositions later. And then lastly, burst skill Aegis Cannon Overlord. Affect all enemies dealing extra damage, and if they belong to electric code, deals even more damage. Again, her burst is not great damage. Even if you fully invest in her, yes, she could be a sub DPS, but at that point, the amount of resources you're spending instead of investing on a proper DPS unit that you will benefit way more, it's not realistic, right? So you want to focus on a skill 2 for damage taken debuff. That's why she is used. CDR, damage taken. CDR level 4 is more than enough, burst level 4 is more than enough, and then her skill 2 is where you want to put most of your resources. That is for the skills. Let's do move, however, into the cube and the gear. When it comes to gear, low priority to overload. She works even without doing that for raids, specifically for Union raid and solo raid. You do not need to, but it's better overall, of course, if you want to compete in solo raids, to have her overload. More damage, it's always welcome, no matter where it's coming from. You want to focus on elemental damage and attack. The reason is pretty simple, right? As we were seeing on her kit, she is for elemental content. So if you can get elemental damage on all pieces, that would be amazing. Attack is not mandatory, but she's an attacker, so it's better. And then lastly, max ammo and crit lines as fillers. Again, she's low priority, so I will say don't do it. When it comes to her cube, it depends. You can use Bastion, you can use Resilience, like 99% of characters in this game. If she has a couple lines of max ammo, you could go Bastion to get that extra round. If you don't have max ammo lines, then you want to go Resilience so she can reload in good or proper times, right? To say something. Okay, that's it though. It's gonna be for the build itself, right? The cube, the gear, the skills. What about the team composition, Sefhi? Well, right now, the recommended team. This is recommended, by the way. This is not best team. I need to change this in terms of what it says. This is recommended, right? Recommended team is gonna be a Snow White, elemental content, pure iron team. There is changes on the Snow White composition, however, and this is going to be depending on what you have. Personally, I do not use, when it comes to solo raids, a Snow White team. I don't like a Snow White. Yes, I know, I'm breaking my account, whatever. So for me, when it comes to iron, I usually am putting her with either Maxwell or with my Sugar or with my Laplace now that she's built. Again, that's in my case, right? But you want to go for an iron team so you can actually get that damage taken properly, that damage damage taken debuff on a good team and deal more damage. That's it. That is where she is gonna be shining the most. Outside of elemental content, the only reason to be using a Summer Helm is for the cooldown reduction. And if it's for the cooldown reduction, she works everywhere. She doesn't need to be with Laplace or with an item team. She will work everywhere. So that is kind of the basic guide for Helm. Now let's move into the last thing, which is if you should pull for her or not. I'm gonna keep it 100. You should not be using tickets for Helm. There is two situations where people will be discussing if you need to get Helm or Mary. First, as a new player, do you have cooldown reduction units? If you don't, then it might be worth it. But 200 gold tickets is really expensive. If you have already a couple cooldown reduction characters and are looking for healer instead, Mari might be a better option. Overall, cooldown reduction will always be a better return for your tickets because she will find place in almost any team, right? Even when we don't talk about elemental content. But once again, using tickets for these type of characters, it's really expensive. I don't think it's worth it. Unless we're talking about Summer Anise, like I was commenting on my previous video. In that case, yes, you want to get Summer Anise no matter what. The other characters, I would just wait. If you can get lucky and get Mari and get Helm while pulling for the two new chicks, aka Rosanna and Sakura, then do that. If you can't, then I will suggest holding onto the tickets until the last day and see if she's worth for you or not. That said, this is going to be a shorter one since Helm is not that deep to build or that complicated. Most likely, Mary and Neon videos will also be kind of shorter since they don't have that much complexity compared to Anise. But that's gonna be it for this one. Do let me know, guys, if you are interested on pulling her because waifu, if you are gonna be pulling every character this summer or you're looking only for specific ones. That's gonna be it for this one. Thank you to my patrons for making this content possible. As usual, love you all bossos. Good luck with your pull generates and see you in the next one.
役立たずは楽園から追放するのみ。ブランとノワールのショータイムです。天地万物を切るとはこういうことだ。